Hello, my name is Diego and my group is formed by Juan David Castañeda and Luis Carlos Carrion. In this case, I'm going to explain you what we have done in the guide. In the first question that we have answered, we said what features do websites that lack usability have problems with, and it is that they have problems with the structure, navigation, consistency, feedback, searchability, and control and safety. And the difference between usability and accessibility is that while usability is the effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction with which specific users achieve specific goals in particular environments, accessibility is the usability for users with various disabilities who may use alternative input modes or specialized assistive technologies such as screen readers or braille devices. So in the third question, that was what is the similarity between usability and accessibility? We say that both terms are totally related, since their objective is the same, that people can use the website in the best way, while the inconvenience regarding access to the information are solved, then accessibility is being improved. And while a better browsing experience is provided with the content, a better usability is found. And the checklist that we did about usability of a website where time spent on a page, bounce rate, page visited per session, purchase, registration, and registration processes not completed, facilitate a correct user experience, a structure, menu and content, a clean and clear design, give control of the web to the user, web be interactive and web responsive. The page about 10 usability heuristic for user interface design. We had first visibility of system status. It means that the user has always has to keep uninformed about what is going on. It is so important to know when we are using a web application. In the second tip, match between system and the real world. So in this case, it shows us that when stop controls match the logic of hitting elements, user can quickly understand which controls map to which hitting element. So the way you should design depends very much on your specific users. Terms, concepts, icons, an image that seems perfectly clear to you and your collage may be unfamiliar or confusing to your users. We must have always the best words or the best information to the people, um, because they don't understand everything that we understand. So it is important to recognize what people in general understand. In the third tip, the user control and freedom, the users often perform activities by mistake. It is something that always happens to everyone. So in this case, they need a clearly marked emergency excited. As in the real life, we have, for example, in shopping market, an emergency exit. We also need these kind of things in the web applications because if the user did something wrong, he has to be able to um, let that place and do uh, wherever he wanted to do and go out from that place with an emergency site. In the fourth tip, we have the consistency and the standards, and it means that users should not have to wonder whether different words, situations, or actions mean the same thing. In this case, we have an example from a hotel. We always know where the reception is, and in this case, we have to um, we also have to know that there is a place in the web application that we can find is easy. The fifth tip it is the error prevention, and it is important that the people know uh, that good error messages are important, but the best designs carefully prevent problems from occurring in the first place. And here we have an example about a highway. We can find that there are two guardrails in that curvy mountain, and it can prevent the drivers from falling off quick. And the sixth tip is the recognition rather than recall. It means that the user has to minimize the memory load by making elements, actions, or options visible. So it is always important that the user don't forget the information that it is important in the web application. So here we have an example that it is easier for most people to recognize the capital of countries instead of having to remember them. For example, we have two kind of questions. In this case, about uh, capital of countries. The first question is Lisbon the capital of Portugal? Uh, so it is an easier way to the user than if you ask him what is the capital of Portugal. In the seventh tip, we have flexibility and efficient of use. And we have here an example about, for example, a person that knows very good his town. If you are new in that town, you follow the way that Google Maps or Waze or whatever whatever application you use, the way that it shows you. But for example, there is a person that lives there. He can take ways that are easier the than the other people can find. The eighth tip is the aesthetic and minimalist design. It is important to have a clean design or unclear design, and you don't have to make a full uh, information to your web application because it is not good for the final user. The ninth tip is to help the users to recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Error messages should be expressed in a plain language without error codes. Precisely indicate the problem and constructively suggest a solution. And we have here an example about a wrong way, and it is a sign on the road that remind drivers that they are heading in the wrong direction and ask them to stop. For example, it is not the way, and if they take that way, they could have an accident or something that isn't good for his life. That is the example in the real life. In the tenth tip, we have the help and documentation, and it is I think it is the most important thing in a web application because the user always have to know what the application web does. So in this case, the information guides at airports are easily recognized and solve customers' problems in context and immediately. So the help and documentation content should be easy to search and focus it on the user's tasks. For example, we are software engineers and we have to know always where is the documentation about different programming languages, and it is important to have uh, complete information about that documentation, and we will have an easier way of doing the things. Thank you.